Rise and shine on Australia's Vision Christian Radio.
Okay, it's Tuesday's podcast.
Boom. Dropping on you.
There you
like
go,
it's
and
hot.
there it is, done. No, welcome.
3rd of December, I am replying to an email here. Let me give this website a shout out. It's called His Air. Did I say that clearly? Like his, as in God's, HIS, and then all one word, air, as in the airwaves, .net, hisair.net. It's a Christian radio website from America. Now, if it's only going to be interested to people who are, really nerdy about radio, want to find out more about Christian radio all over the world. They sort of collect all, Christian news stories from, Christian radio stations from all over the world, mostly America, of course. It's run from the States. And but I'll tell you, they've got a directory and a job listings for both America and Australia. So if you've ever wanted to get a job in radio around the world, there's been a couple, in years past, I almost moved to California just before COVID hit to take a job in radio over there.
Okay.
I don't know if I dodged a bullet or not with not going over there with that one. But if you've ever wanted to get a job in radio, they list Australian, some of the Vision jobs have been listed on His Air as well, so you can find them over there. But the thing that I love is their directory. They've got directory of Christian radio stations all over the world, so many hundreds and hundreds of stations all over the world. So if you want to see what's going on and how Christian radio is different all over the world, it is absolutely fascinating. It's got charts and everything like that. He's there. So he's been emailing me some questions, so I'm emailing him back, and that's why I'm talking about it, doing that when you said press record on the podcast.
Oh, there we go. You're ever wondering DJ's doing something else?
Exactly. What is going on when Fell presses record? It's going to be coming out there. Now, listen, heads up, there's not going to be a podcast tomorrow. No. I don't know about Thursday, and we don't know about Friday, because tomorrow, what are we calling it? Final steps?
That's right.
Of Visionathon.
That's right.
So be prepared. Get ready for that. You've got plenty of time to contemplate and do some research on the Bible story sound off.
You do.
Yeah, yeah. So do you reckon I should play them the sound in the podcast today?
Yes.
Let them just have the sound?
Well, no, play that whole piece with
play the whole
guesses and
play
everything.
Play the wrong guesses?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, there we go. Phil's decreed
Definitely.
it. We're having the whole...
You can have your own fun at home, listening to that over and over again.
Yeah, you can play it along, have a listen to the sound, and see if you can work out what it is. But it'll be back. Again, we don't know exactly when. I'll tell you when it'll be back. It's when we reach the goal of Visionathon. That's when we'll be
Which
back.
we're believing will be by Friday.
Amen. I'm gonna take it up a notch and say before Friday.
Excellent.
Is that all right?
Yeah,
all
totally.
right. All right. So you've heard it here first. Let's see what happens here. But keep us in your prayers as we head back into Visionathon, and that God would truly supply all of our needs. Enjoy the show.
It's the best way to start your day. Rise and shine. With Fel and DJ on Vision.
Oh, beautiful. I love these Christmas carols, which are sounding a little bit new to me. That's Heavenly Hosts for King and Country DJ. Beautiful one.
A beautiful song to go with our beautiful guest. Coming down from the Vision newsroom here, we've got Tony Davenport popping in. The red folder is out. Papers are flying everywhere. I'm seeing highlighted bits and pieces. Let me guess, you have been covering all the laws, legislations, bills, all this stuff that's been going through all the different parliaments around Australia lately.
Yes, and mainly in Canberra last week. They really pumped through a whole lot of bills. I think they got through 45.
Wow.
In just 4 sittings last week. They just pumped them through.
Yeah.
Some they just rubber stamped, basically. They got an agreement between the parties and said, we'll just push these ones through. Others they dropped completely. The one that they're really celebrating at the moment is the one to make children under 16 not have a Facebook account.
Yeah.
And how they're going to police that, they don't know.
No.
It won't become law for at least a year.
Yes.
But it's supported by not only the government but also the opposition and lots of Christian groups like the Australian Christian Lobby thinks it's a great thing.
Really?
Yeah, they do, because it is in itself. But the thing about that bill is that it's only to stop kids opening a social media account. It doesn't stop them accessing quite horrible material on the internet. They can still go on the internet and access. They can access YouTube. You don't need an account for that. They can look at anything they like there, and they can see a lot more horrible sites.
Yeah,
that's a created word.
But I hear what you're saying. We hear what you're saying, Tony. But I'm also worried about the way that they're going to implement it, because with a digital ID, I mean, I'm going to have to prove that I'm not an under 16-year-old to get on there.
Well, they're denying that you will need a digital ID. They're denying that. They say, oh no, you won't have to use your passport. Yeah. So all I can think that they're going to do is some kind of biometric not facial recognition as such, but is this face the size of a child? Now, that's okay if you're about 12 or under, but it's that 13, 14, 15-year-olds, they are all at different levels of maturity, and you can't go on the size of their heads at that age at all.
It's insane.
So I really don't know how they're going to do it, but they're very proud of it. Everybody's on side. We've got not only the government, the Labor government, you've got Peter Dutton on side and most of the opposition. You've got Christian groups on side, like the Australian Christian Lobby, even though it doesn't cover a lot of worrying access to the internet that children can have. Okay. Like they can access a lot more, disturbing material on the internet. They don't need an account to go on YouTube, for example. Yes. They're letting one exception to this is WhatsApp. WhatsApp is still out there. That is still used for bullying a lot. Yes. So there's a lot of problems with this in that the government's portraying itself as a champion of caring for children, protecting children, but then we go back to things like the gender transition surgeries and drugs and puberty blockers provided for children under 18. Pauline Hanson, for the 5th time last week, tried to move a motion for an inquiry into it. All she wanted was an inquiry, and she was sneered at and mocked, and it was just thrown out. Wow. At the same time, there was a move to get rid of the Babies Born Alive bill, which is it has nothing to do with stopping abortions. All it wants is care for these little babies that are born after a failed abortion operation. And again, the idea of that was mocked and sneered at by most of the senators, and it is still in play, partly because the senators who disagreed with the bill as such still voted for it because they were independents, and it meant that if you could just throw out a bill so easily, many of their own private members' bills could face that in the future. So it was very much a keeping democracy alive type thing.
Okay, gotcha. I gotcha. Let's take a quick moment. We'll come back on the other side. I know you've got a ton more information. We're not getting through that red folder very quickly. We've got Tony Davenport from the newsroom with us here, going through some real important developments around Australia.
Tony here from the newsroom, talking legislation. Have you got some more updates for us?
Yes, I have, because while we were focusing on Canberra, Victoria introduced a very sneaky and disturbing bill last week, and it aims to stop hate speech, basically. Okay. But it is so vague and its tentacles stretch so far that virtually anybody could be criminalised for saying something that is likely, or even wearing something, any public conduct that is likely to cause hatred, serious contempt, vilification, revulsion, or severe ridicule. Okay. They could be sent to jail.
So wasn't
just
there a
for
national...
likely, not if you do, only if someone, a judge or someone else decides that it's likely your conduct could cause that. And it could be conduct like just wearing a cross. It could be conduct like wearing a Star of David or a Jewish cap.
So it's gone through?
No, it's been introduced. Okay. But Labor has the numbers, and it it's probably likely to go through. Whether there's amendments, I don't know. But Christian groups are absolutely terrified, basically. They say these laws could open the floodgates to Christians being prosecuted because even an email or an online communication could be seen as a crime. And so could something that takes place in a private location like a Christian school or even a church, that could be seen as a crime. And so this is why people are so worried. Not just Christians. Civil liberty groups are also saying this is the end of freedom of speech in Victoria because other people who make fun of others, like comedians, they could be in trouble. Journalists could be in trouble. So it is a really worrying bill.
Yeah. It is very, very troubling if you actually look at the details there. And as always, the government presents it as it's going to help everybody, it's going to save everybody from all this bad stuff, but then you're left scratching your head. What is it actually going to do? Any other final legislation, news bits that you've been watching?
Not legislation, DJ, but in America, we've had Walmart, the biggest supermarket in America, 1.6 million employees.
Wow.
It's only the American government has more workers.
Wow.
Yep.
It has cancelled its woke policies. It has gone unwoke.
Yes.
And it's basically reacted to the mood in America with Donald Trump coming in and that sort of thing.
Yes.
It's decided to really tone down all its DEI policies, diversity, equity and inclusion, and get rid of all sorts of quotas, get rid of all sorts of LGBT products that are targeted at children, and to really review whether it should fund pride events and things like that.
Right.
And this comes as there are calls for Donald Trump's administration to defund any companies that spend their money on promoting these policies.
Yeah, interesting stuff. All right, well, all of those stories, I'm guessing, are part of what you've been writing about over at vision.org.au. If you head over to the read section there in your app or on the website, have a look for the news and the all the different reading parts there. You'll find these stories over there, and you can do a little bit more research. Tony, we appreciate everything you do for us here at Vision, getting us all the facts, the figures from all over the world and bringing it to us here. We'll catch up with you next week.
See you then.
Rise and Shine with Fel and DJ on Vision. Are you ready for a challenge? Listen to the mystery sound, correctly name the Bible story, and win a great prize. Sounds easy, but is it? Rise and Shine's Bible Stories Sound Off.
All right, it's day 2 of sound number 7, but who's counting? Just me. Now let me. We've had some very interesting guesses, and I'm getting all the wrong answers and putting them up onto our Facebook group. But let me just pull out this old laptop here. Give me 1 second. Let me get it up here on the desk. All right, got it out here. Let me just log on in and get into the time-space continuum here. Rightio, we're logging in and... All right, we're in. All right, let me punch these new coordinates in. All right, as we cycle through the time waves here and looking for one particular Bible story. We kicked it off yesterday and we had some very interesting guesses. I can let you know that it is not Jesus walking on the water. It's not Jesus sleeping in the boat. It's not even Moses hitting the stone to let water out of the rock to the Israelites.
And there were no speedboats.
There's definitely no speedboats.
Sure?
Well, let's have a listen to the sound that we've got downloaded here. This is what it sounds like. What do you... Yeah, it's definitely... There's definitely water involved here.
There is some watery.
Yeah, let's have a listen one more time. Okay, I can hear something going on there.
There is.
If you think you know what it could be, it's a very simple game to play. You know how to do it. 1-800-316-316. If you want to take a shot of what this Bible story sound might be, Phil, could we have a listen to it one more time?
Oh, sure, yes.
Okay. If it's ringing any bells, give us a call right now, 1-800-316-316 to play the Bible story sound off.
Across Australia.
Rise and shine.
Rise and Shine's Bible Stories Sound Off.
Alrighty, we have got a brand new sound. It kicked off yesterday. It goes a little bit something like this. All right, that is the brand new sound. Definitely water related. I'm gonna I'll put it in there. This is sound number 7 for anybody keeping track here, and we're asking you for your guesses. 1-800-316-316. I can see Natasha is on the line. What do you reckon it is?
Is it when Jesus directs them to put the net over the other side?
Oh,
Yes, it does sound netty.
Natasha, I like that story. That's like, are you talking about like the first time that he met Peter, James, and John there on the shores?
Yeah.
The disciple moment.
Yeah, I love that story, and you've gone New Testament, which is very interesting.
Yes.
But in the midst of all of that, I'm sorry. That's not correct.
No.
Natasha, great guess, but
Very good guess.
Back to the old drawing board.
Thanks.
No worries, thank you.
Maria in Queensland, what do you reckon?
Hey, I think it might be Simon with the boys out fishing on the boat.
Yeah,
just-
there's a few times that happens in the New Testament. It doesn't just happen once.
Yeah, I love the fact, and I'm going to use a pun here, Maria. I love the fact you've cast a very wide net there in the Bible stories for anything to do with
a woman after my own heart.
Yeah, anything to do with Simon fishing and stuff like that. You know what? And I love the fact you've gone for New Testament. Unfortunately, Maria,
Really?
I'm sorry.
No.
Not correct.
It had to be one of those
Never mind.
stories. Thanks, Maria. Eileen, what have you got for us?
Morning, Charles. I think, could it be when the disciples were fishing all night and they caught nothing and Jesus told them to...
A good try.
This is, look, I love
Very
this. I love the
popular.
fact, I think all of Australia is totally, on the same page as you, Eileen. It's got to be something to do with Peter and the boys fishing. Surely not. I'm sorry, it's not it, Eileen. I love the guess, but not it.
Too easy, that guess was it?
Too easy for a DJ story.
Thank you.
Hi, Emily.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, great.
Hang on, Emily. Are you old enough to play this game?
Oh, definitely.
How old are you?
11.
Definitely then. I have a 12-year-old and she plays this at home.
All right,
so.
all right, Emily. We'll let you play.
Are you on school holidays yet, Emily?
No.
Oh, you're not?
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
well
so
done.
before school, let's get this answer
what do you
in.
reckon?
Is it Noah's Ark taking off?
Oh,
That is excellent.
That's a great. Let's
That
have a
is very,
let's have a
very
listen.
good.
Listen to this sound one more
I
time.
reckon, because there's a lot of water.
Oh, I can hear some creaking
Yes.
there in the background.
Yes.
Yeah, listen,
That could definitely be it.
Emily. I think this is a great guess. The only problem is I don't hear any animals.
Oh, do you reckon? No, they were locked in the ark.
Well, it depends if it's coming from inside or outside the ark, I guess. But Emily, great guess. Unfortunately, not correct.
I wanted it to be right, Emily.
Thank you.
Have
Have
a
a
good
great
day.
day. Oh,
we go.
sweetheart, little sweetheart there, Emily. Thank you so much for playing. We will let 11-year-olds play in the future.
Well,
all right, is that okay?
My
Is that-
12-year-old, yes.
Yeah.
If you're 7, 8, 9, 10,
Oh,
whatever you
hang
are,
on,
any age,
hang on.
welcome, young, old, come bring them all. Because Bible stories are for everyone. It's not just for the aged.
True. Of course, I'm joking. I'm joking. Kids, we love it when you play.
Yes.
All right, so I'm popping up right now onto our Facebook group, Bible Story Sound Off, the wrong answers. So if you want to keep track of what has been guessed so you don't guess again, we're going to put that up over there for this 7th round. It will be back, hopefully, later this week. We might have to take a little break.
And I've got one here that's come in via another mechanism saying, is that the first toilet flushing? Is that in the Bible?
Again, some
No speedboat, no helicopter, and maybe no toilet.
Yeah, Vision family members. Well, actually, you know what? I am thinking there is a couple of
There
stories.
is a toilet where
There
it's
is a
mentioned.
couple-
I just remember that.
There is
In
a
the
couple
old-
of Bible stories where it does mention a toilet,
latrine.
but this has
I don't know
got
if they
nothing to do with those. It is not a toilet. Please, people, please. No, keep the guesses coming. We'll give out some clues. Probably give out some clues later on the week. But at the moment, I'm just letting you sit with the sound.
I've heard of all-day breakfast on the menu, But here's a brekky show available 24/7. Thanks for streaming the Rise and Shine Daily Podcast.
Well, we're very excited. We've got Brett and Kate Ryan from Focus on the Family Australia. And look, it's Christmas time.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, there we go.
Santa
That was very
DJ's in
festive.
the house. Summertime Santa's here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, one of the things that we think about when it's families coming together over Christmas, and you might be planning Christmas lunch and Christmas activities, it gets a bit more challenging, guys, when you start looking at blended families and you start bringing some different dynamics. And I'm wondering if you might have some wisdom around that for us today.
Yeah, we've actually just released a new resource. It's a downloadable PDF. It's called Helping Blended Families Thrive and explores a variety of different issues that are unique to blended families. And you're so rightfully made note that when you come together at Christmas time and or the special occasions, it's tough enough with just your typical families. When you've got an atypical family and a blended family, it can actually open up some wounds of the past, who's got access and how long. It's a variety of different challenges. And but children should not be the pawns in this, and to treat each other civilly and not be seen as the I'm the good cop and you're the bad cop, but to actually go in with the idea that the children are at the center of making sure that they're the most important aspect or the most important people to take note of, and children shouldn't be in the middle of all of that.
With your experience of helping families around Australia, Kate, have you seen some wins out of this? Because I know people might be thinking, hey, that's nice, Brett. We're already locked into a war that I've been part of since, since time began. How do you get out of that rut? How do you get a win in these situations?
Well, as Brett was saying, blended families can be really complex because it's where did it start from in the middle? In the first place. So had a spouse died. It's very different than if there was sacrimonious divorce where it's related to someone having passed away. And so, those kind of things need to be taken into consideration. I think from the very first go, and let's face it, if there's abuse, there are so many variables that need to be taken into consideration. But if we're just talking about a breakdown of relationship where they've got divorced, then it is really important for them to understand that the children love both their mother and their father. And to put them in the middle where they have to either send messages between the two or, one person talks negatively about the other person, it just tears these little ones in half. And so we need to be mindful. It doesn't matter what age they are. Our children are not our friends. They're our children. We need to be talking to other adults about how to manage things, not to our children, where they need to see that because you're role modelling. You're modelling how to handle very complex issues. And so when it comes to these special events, then we need to go, all right, I'm going to put aside my pain because I'm the adult. And say, I want this to be a special day for you guys, so I'm going to work this out.
Okay.
Okay.
It does take two people, so I'm just going to say that. It does take two people, but you're only responsible for yourself. And so you can say to your children, well, look, this is what I'd love to be doing. I want it to be a special day for you. And talk to them about what they would like. Often adults are busy planning things for their kids, but what is it they would like to do on the day and how to manage that? One might be able to do it the day before and the day after. We get caught up on it has to be Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Flexibility is a key.
I don't think that we've done our nuclear family kind of situation. We haven't done that on Christmas Day for years because we've got daughters-in-law who've got they're one of 6 kids. And so to manage the aunts, uncles, cousins and move it off Christmas Day is like a nightmare for them. So we're just like, oh, well, Christmas Eve or Boxing Day, whatever suits. Yeah. But we get caught up that it has to be Christmas Day. We learn to be a little bit more flexible.
Blessed are the flexible, for they shall not break.
Okay, we're not going to break this year. All right,
No.
okay, we're going to be flexible. I like that one, Brett. All right, let's take a quick moment right now. Listen to some music, the word for today. And on the other side, Brett and Kate with us, giving us some Christmas tips here on Vision.
Rise and shine.
We got Brett and Kate on the line from Focus on the Family Australia. Now, Brett, you're talking about, families come together and let's face it, sometimes you've talking about, families who've gone through divorce. I know a lot of friends of mine and even family members who it's the other party that loves to dwell on the drama. They want to create drama around the kids. They want to create drama around holidays. So how do we create a win, not just for us, but especially for the children involved? What recommendations would you have around that?
Yeah, it really is a difficult one. I would say that you still have to be the best version of yourself because your kids are going to observe you, how you handle the situation. The kids will get older and they will see the differences. They will see the obvious discrepancy about what one person says and what the other person says. And you're actually the other person who is being difficult, the other person who is being, obstructionists, that the kids will see that eventually. So be the very best version of yourself. It's not about winning and losing. It's about being of Christ-like character in the way you show forgiveness, the way that you show love, the way that you show kindness and compassion. All of those things
Just the way you show up
will be what your kids will remember.
Yeah.
And can I also take a note of how you also include grandparents in this? And I know we might be biased because they are also collateral damage and the potential collateral damage that, in a divorce, there are some benefits, potential benefits that not only may you have just typical 4 grandparents, you could actually end up having 8 grandparents so they can get a lot of love. So there are some benefits, but, we at Focus on the Family, we want to just help families be the very best versions of themselves. And that includes the various shapes and forms that families come in, including blended families, single-parent families, and the typical families. But ultimately, we want to help you and your family do not just survive, but thrive in Christ.
Yeah, I think we need to be careful not to fall into the trap of taking sides. When you start taking sides and a child says, why doesn't grandma and grandpa want to see me anymore? Those kind of words, that's where then the grandparents start throwing the kids into this collateral damage. So we need to be very mindful that as adults, we've got to set a good example of what it looks like to be mature, emotionally mature and protect these young ones from what's going on.
And an actual question, the one that said about have I seen it done well? We have seen it done very, very well. When both parties recognise their fault in the disintegration of the relationship and then moving forward, the children are not going to be collateral damage in all this. And they do the very best. Kids, there'll be scarring, most definitely, but they can do it well. And you can actually have very civilised celebrations, whether it's a birthday, whether it is Christmas, or whether it is the holidays, whatever it may be, you can do it well. And we have seen it happen when both parties are willing to be adults.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, listen, you've heard the great advice there. There is a PDF that can be downloaded. Where would we be looking at it? Over at families.org.au.
You can just go to our website. It'll be on our land, helping blended families thrive.
Love it. Love it. Helping blended families thrive. We'll see if we can find the link to it and put it up on our Facebook page. Hey, Brett and Kate, got some bittersweet news for you. In a fortnight, we're going to be chatting to you again. That's the sweet part. The bitter part is it's the last one of the year. So,
bring your Christmas hats.
Yeah, bring your Santa hats, and we'll be talking to you in a fortnight. That is Brett and Kate Ryan from Focus on the Family Australia.
Great conversations, fun, inspiration and more. Rise and shine with Fel and DJ on Vision.
DJ, we've just been so privileged to have a chat with one of our incredible Vision family members, Ivan, about the life of his wife, Josie, who's recently passed away to cancer.
Yeah, it's an amazing story. We got to have a chat about their story together, and at the end, Josie, who passed away very, very quickly. She went in after lots of treatment, back and forth, and anybody who's walked with someone with cancer knows what that can be like. In the end, She went into the hospital for the final time on a Monday, and she'd passed by the Friday. And, you know, Josie was a real, you know, interesting individual. Ivan went on to explain where, you know, he actually didn't know where she sat spiritually. This is what he had to say.
Josie was a very private person, and we used to differ about religion and belief in God. Josie, from a very young age, was trying to find God. From a 4-year-old living in a life of family violence with alcohol in New Caledonia. And she was born into one of the major religions of the world and saw nothing in that for herself.
Ivan went on to explain that, you know, he walked with her as she looked at different cults. She went to Buddhism. Yeah. She went to Christian Science. A lot of this looking for healing from the cancer. You know, there were times where they visited churches, and there was a big stretch of time where they visited no church. But in the midst of all of that, Ivan explains where he was at.
I maintained my Christian belief, Bible reading and prayer and things like that, and I always prayed for her, and more intensely after she became unwell with the cancer. But unbeknownst to me, and I said before, she was a very private person. She was actually finding God in her own way. And I used to pray that the Holy Spirit would speak to her and get her on track. So after she passed away, I was a little bit upset. But I found a book that she'd written in, and she said, "Thank you, Lord, for helping me understand the error of my beliefs and for forgiving me." Basically, it was a confession of faith.
Ivan's such a stoic. He's such a stoic, classic Aussie gentleman. I love the fact, you know, it really hit me when he said, "I was a little bit upset after she passed away." Now, of course, you know, being that Christian partner, not knowing where Josie was, this is the interesting part of the story for us, because this is when he discovers what part that Vision played in all of this.
I'm a subscriber to Vision. Sometimes I'll send a few dollars on to you guys when you have your fundraising. And Vision sent me back the daily devotional booklet. But I've also got it on my phone, and also I receive the emails. So I gave the booklet to Josie, and I said, "Would you be interested in reading this?" She said, "Oh yeah, I like that." It was just the format was perfect for her. And when I came home, when everything was settling down, I started to sort out through a few of her things. I found this Vision devotional book, and I thought that's where she got this conversion experience from, because she'd been reading it. And then she wrote in this other book, "Thank you for forgiving me and for helping me understand the error of my beliefs," and things like this. Amazing. So that, to me, it was about 3 weeks after I'd read the first book, where little notebooks that she'd written in, and here it was. I thought, the Lord was hearing my prayers, you know.
Praise God.
Amazing story from Ivan, and we praise God for the work that he was doing through you know, using something like the Word for Today in Josie's life, and of course the prayers of Ivan over all those years. So amazing story. The story doesn't finish there. Ivan went on to explain about how you know, he's now working on Josie's children, and the faith is continuing. So we love these stories, and this is why this time of year is so important around Visionathon. Yes, we're looking for, you know, support. Yes, we're looking for finances, you know, to continue the ministry. But this is what the ministry is all about. God being able to use little things like this in lives like Ivan and Josie's.
Yeah, exactly. And we love hearing, don't we? The Word for Today.
Yeah.
Just ends up in so many different places. The number of stories where we just hear God's able to use it. It's a seed that can be sown.
Amen.
And we're just praising God with Ivan. We know Josie is praising God in heaven, and we are just so thankful.
Yeah.
So thank you, Ivan, for sharing your story. And to everyone who's been brave in sharing their story during Visionathon, we're so thankful.
Yeah, you can get involved right now, vision.org.au. And if you've got a story you'd love to share, we'd love to hear it. You're with Fel and DJ here on Rise and Shine.
Rise and Shine.
That's Matt Ma and the choir room joining up there for Go Tell It or Gloria, a wonderful Christmas carol there. I love that one.
Well, talking about Go Telling It on the Mountain, it's time for telling it on the mountain here. Now, for those, there's only a handful of people who would know the incredible Scotty. Scotty is an amazing Vision team member here. He does our maintenance. He does, you might see him on a hot summer's day out there doing the weeding, cutting back trees here at Vision HQ. Well, Scotty and I, let's say about a couple of months ago, we looked at one another and realised that we were about a kilo off of being exactly the same weight. Sort of bigger fellas there. Is that a politically correct way to say?
I really don't know.
Bigger fellas, chunky, portly maybe is the way to describe it. We're two big guys there. So we decided, because we were almost the same weight, he had just started doing some dieting there. We decided to do a challenge, and things were going really, really good. We're neck and neck. 1 week he's ahead, a little bit thinner, losing a bit more weight, trying to get healthy. And the next week I'm a little bit ahead. We've been weighing in week to week, and it's been a lot of fun. A lot of the Vision crew getting behind us, cheering us on, as it would. But here's my confession. I got to come clean. Spent 10 days in Geelong. 10 days in Geelong, and I don't know what Geelong does. I don't know what Victoria does with their fast food, their fried goods.
Okay.
There's a chain of petrol stations in Victoria. They only have them down there. They're called APCO, and whatever they're doing to their fast food down there, I tell you, it is the siren song. It beckons me as I'm in Victoria, and I find it very hard. Anybody down there knows exactly what I'm talking about. The most amazing food, fast food that you can find down there. And in the space of the 10 days over the wedding, now, with a wedding, there's a lot of food to be eaten.
Definitely.
There's a lot of good food being put out there. I managed to put on, in the space of 10 days, I've put on 7 kilos. I've gone backwards 7 kilos in the space of 10 days. I didn't think that was humanly possible, but apparently I can. So my confession come clean is, just trying to get through this. I need to get back on track, get the kilos down again. But maybe you've got a weakness, or if you live in Victoria, you might think that the dim sims are better down there, or the potato cakes, or whatever it is that they make, the Chico rolls that they might have there. I'd love to hear if there's you've got some encouragement, or you've got a confession as well, or maybe even if you've got a particular fast food that you're struggling with, or if you think there's a particular, place that actually does it better than anywhere else. I'd love to hear from you. Know that I'm not alone here. I might even post something up on the Facebook page, but I'm hoping that I can come back from this. Scotty is in this challenge. He is screaming ahead, doing so well. I think he's down at least 20 kilos from where we've started. Yeah, doing an amazing job. Whereas I have not only stalled, I've gone backwards. So I need to, I'm sort of coming clean, wanting to get forward on this, and want to do that. If you want to get involved in the challenge as well, because I know that, in the past, if we've mentioned doing anything around weight, it's a hard time of year to do it in December as well. There's a lot of, family foods and stuff like that out there. But if you want to get involved, let us know. Get in contact with us. You can do it over the Facebook page, or even shoot us an email. We'd love to hear from you. But if you've got something to, come clean about, I'm going to say that this is a safe space. I'm going to say that this is an area that you can, you can do it in here. Before we play Saints of the Century, you can let us know what you're thinking. You can give us a call, 1-800-316-316 if you want to get involved, and let us know if there's any area there that you want to come clean about. We'd love to help you out as well. You're with Fel and DJ here on Rise and Shine.
Across Australia, this is Rise and Shine with Fel and DJ on Vision.
There's one song left to play on Rise and Shine, and it's your choice. It's time for the curtain call.
That's right. It's time for you to choose a song to take us into the day. You can call, you can text. You could send a courier pigeon, which has been known to happen.
Yeah, I don't know if Matt's still training them up. I think he's away at the moment. But if you've got one of those Matt Prater courier pigeons, send it on in. But someone who has called with a curtain call this morning is our good mate Peter in Armidale. Mate, what are you thinking of?
Dandelions by Five Iron Frenzy.
Dandelions. Man, that is a song I haven't heard in a long time.
Is it about dandelions?
I know.
So you're a bit of a Five Iron Frenzy tragic?
Can you say that slower?
Oh, I am.
What's the band name?
Five Iron Frenzy.
Five Iron Frenzy.
Yeah. Think of a 5 iron, like a golf club.
Oh, okay. Is it like some golfers going crazy for God?
Well, not really, but no, they're
Their first album was Miniature Golf Courses of America.
Yeah.
So I think it possibly came a bit from there as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're all these years later, they've broken up a few times. They're back together again doing some shows over there. So what is it about Dandelions that you love so much?
I love the meaning behind it. Like the fact that even though we're nothing special, God still looks at us and sees this wonderful thing. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear it. Okay, then. Well, just for you, Peter, Five Iron Frenzy, Dandelions going out as our curtain call. Thank you.
Thank you.
In a field of yellow flowers underneath the sun.
Now, that's Five Iron Frenzy, or Five Iron Frenzy, as you guys were saying before. Dandelions. For Peter in Armidale, thank you. That's brand new to me.
Going all the way back to 1998 in that, I think it was the third or fourth wave of the ska revival? You know, the big bands with, that ska music coming in with the horns and everything like that coming out there. You might remember Madness and, the British groups. I think that was the first wave in the 80s. Anyway, going back to all the music knowledge there. Look, Peter appreciates it, appreciates it. The late 90s ska music there. Beautiful song there, Dandelions. And if you missed the lyrics there, basically praising God for being able to see in amongst all the weeds of life, there are dandelions hiding in there, and he watches all of the creation. I know there's going to be some Five Iron Frenzy tragics like Peter who'll be absolutely jumping around and getting into that rock and roll ska music right there. If you've got a curtain call, let us know what you want to hear. 1-800-316-316.
And looking to tomorrow's show, it's going to be a little bit different when you wake up and you switch on Rise and Shine, because we have got our Visionathon final steps kicking off tomorrow morning. So we'll have CEO Phil Edwards in here, and we'll have all of the wonderful stories that you know and love from Visionathon as we close the gap towards our need. It is really a need as well as a goal there. We're at 82%, so we're certainly getting there.
Basically, I think we're going to be starting. Look, if I have to, I'm not good at predictions, but I'm going to say tomorrow morning we're going to be hovering around about the $300,000 mark. But the most exciting figure, I think, we're nearly at 4,000 givers from all over Australia. So we definitely want to get you involved in that. We're going to be doing that from tomorrow morning. So make sure you set your alarms. We'll be back with you then. But whatever you're up to today on this Tuesday, I hope that you'll be bouncing along like Peter to his ska music this morning. But we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.